We're in Jacksonville, Florida to kick off the final night of Season 3 in the CFSL. It's the Gator Bowl between Texas and Clemson, and the winner might have a small claim to the national championship. In the booth with me tonight is David Roy. And David, how do you see this one playing out?
Well, remember, Texas got beat at home against Clemson. And not only did they get beat, they got beat handily, 51-19. Texas remembers it. Clemson remembers it. Can Texas get revenge today and find that small claim to the national title?
Well, for Texas to win, they would need not only the win in here, and then they would need Oregon to win a close victory over Tennessee, and they might have a claim to it since they beat Oregon, but they're getting a chance to rematch against Clemson, which Oregon didn't get a chance to do against Texas. First pass on the outside, and a big gain as Brian Moss, the walk-on, picks up 20 to start this game.
And this is almost against tendency for Clemson, right? DJ Moss comes out, delivers a quick pass, and it's just a simple out route. But what Clemson does with it is it manages to turn into a 20-yard gain. The Texas secondary, they're hot under the collar, they're ready to go. They have to make sure that they temper that a little bit, that revenge does not get to be the forefront.
You're saying the revenge is a dish best served cold, but they only played 3 weeks ago, and it is not cold on anybody's mind as DJ Moss runs for 7 there, and he has a hard time getting up. We might want to keep an eye on that, as he might have got his bell rung a little bit on that play. 2nd and 3, pistol formation, trips to the right, and Moss is going to drop back to pass. Airs that to the right, and it's going to go into the Texas sideline, and a quick 3rd down coming up here for Clemson.
So now we're in this 3rd and short situation. So if you're Clemson, what's likely going to happen, it's going to be a read option. Can you get there?
They're going the pass, and they're throwing it to the right, and wide open is AR-15 Anthony Robertson, as he's open on the curl route. And it's a 1st down, and Clemson doing what they've done much of this season, the nation's #1 scoring offense at 42.5 per game, 1st in yardage at 518.6 per game. And we see why, as they are methodical and they'll move the ball down the field. They can also pick up big plays, and Mason Johnson's going to pick up 10 there as Jimbo Smithers jumps on his back to take him down.
Yeah, but right now what we're seeing is a lot of the yardage for Clemson right now is coming through the passing game. DJ Moss, 3 of 4. Closing in on 50 yards passing in this one.
Moss back pass getting pressured, going to the left, wide open, touchdown, Cadillac Chadwick, and Clemson takes the early lead here in the Gator Bowl.
Oh, right now, DJ Moss, throwback to his Ohio State days, isn't it? Stand in the pocket, deliver in the face of pressure, and what a strike into that end zone. Corner route works well for Clemson, so their first drive, they go right down the field and score. If you're Texas, you got to get your offense going, and it starts with Go Bamba.
Tennessee's Aaron Smith, who's going to play next in the Orange Bowl against Oregon, is in chant, talking a little bit of smack, asking who the big hitter on Texas is. Well, that would be Jimbo Smithers. So keep an eye on him. Another guy you got to keep your eye on is Go Bamba, the freshman 5-star running back for Texas, comes into the game with 1,643 yards rushing and 20 touchdowns. Tremendous rookie season for Bamba. Read option to start here, and Tatum's going to take it on the outside. Got a little bit of room to run. Jackson Slade gets over there to bring him down, but it's a 9-yard pickup.
And it's a good little start to the drive, isn't it? So Ray Tatum doing his best DJ Moss impression from earlier in the season. Takes off, gets over to that left side, picks up 9. And it's a great way to set the tone for this drive.
Bamba up the middle, runs over the first guy, then gets hit and taken down, a 7-yard pickup there. Aaron Smith says, show the OG what's up. Aaron Smith, if you guys remember, in that opening week game against Boise in Season 1, set the world on storm, or at least the league rather, with a couple of big hits in that game, and it's really got the hard-hitting defensive back mantra going as we see Texas pick up 3 there. Pistol formation, trips right. Tatum takes a look that way. Now he's going to turn around, goes read option again. Trying to get to the outside, spins off a tackle, but is taken down as Barry Allen comes up to stop him after a 1-yard pickup, and it's going to be 3rd and 6.
Great pursuit by Barry Allen, but it looked to me like Ray Tatum thought for a split second, and this is what allowed Allen to close ground. Tatum looked like he wanted to cut back inside of Allen. Instead, Allen got the hit.
Bamba's taken off up the middle across the 30, 28-yard run. And Texas has got the biggest play of the game so far, and they are down deep into Clemson territory.
Oh, it's just a simple run to that left, but that gap opens up, and so as soon as Bamba sees it, he hits it full throttle down the field. That's a big play for Texas, gives them momentum, something they did not have much of the last time they played Clemson.
Basically gonna ask what archetype Tatum would be as Bamba picks up 12 there. Tatum's archetype would be Chewbacca, I think. Matt would appreciate that one if he was in chat. First and 10 here. Moving in motion is the tight end. Chewbacca back to pass. No, Tatum back to pass. Throwing to the left. He's going to find Andre Jones, the backup tight end, and that's a no gain.
How did Ray Tatum's nickname change from Voodoo to Chewbacca? That's what I wanted.
Because Matt always refers to him as a Sasquatch. Do you not pay attention when you're not on the games? Handoff up the middle there as Bamba picks up 4, and it's going to be 3rd and 6 for Texas. And a crucial third down here as they want to try to match Clemson's opening touchdown.
I've heard the reference. I just thought that was another quarterback. I didn't think that was Tatum.
Oh, no, it's definitely Tatum. 3rd and 6 here, going to hand it off up the middle, and getting stuffed is Bamba. Breaking through the line was Jackson Slade to get him for a loss. And Clemson comes up with the stop, and Bamba's going to have to stay on here and try to kick a field goal from 32 yards out.
Well, it's not something you see often. If you're Texas, that's not really the way you wanted to start this. You wanted to start tying things up with that touchdown. Instead, Jackson Slade comes up, gets in the backfield, and that's what makes it even more rare. Very rare do we see one player be able to bring down Go Bamba, but credit to him for making that stop. Credit on the field goal as well.
So 3 points there for Texas. I've heard our resident analytics expert claim that his belief is the team who scores first scores on their opening drive, which would be Clemson, wins the game 70% of the time. So is that an omen for the Clemson Tigers? It's going to be a big test here for the Longhorns to see if they can get a stop and slow down this Clemson offense. Handoff up the middle and going nowhere as Justin Boudreau comes up to take down Cheetah Brown from behind. No gain on that play, and it's going to be 2nd and 10.
Well, it's a big play by Boudreau, and that's a great way if you're the Texas defense to kind of bounce back a little bit after only scoring 3.
Run to the outside, slipping tackle from Charles, but then taken down by Sudeikis. Charles got there, missed the tackle, but at least slowed him down. Sudeikis makes the tackle, and it's going to be 3rd and 5 now. Clemson 1 for 1 on 3rd down so far. They came into the game tied for 6th in the league at 50% on 3rd downs. Blitz coming from Texas. Moss going to turn around and run, goes to the outside. He'll pick up the first. Calling out for blocker, still on his feet. He gets down near the 30. A 26-yard run for DJ Moss and a big first down for Clemson.
Uh-oh. Texas fans aren't going to like this. What a job by DJ Moss. Spin out of the pocket to your left. Find the open lane. Then turn upfield, take off, picks up the first down, cuts back inside, and then just fights his way down inside the 35. That's a heck of a play. That's an All-American caliber play.
DJ Moss up for All-American status, and he can't get off that screen pass and just throws it away. Gonna live to find another day. After that big run by Moss, it's important to note that Moss ran for the 3rd most yards of any player this season against this Texas defense when they met 3 weeks ago. Dropping back is Moss. He's going to take off and run again, but he runs in to the defensive line, and he goes down for a sack. That's Devontae Carrier who comes up with the sack. It's going to be a loss to put Clemson in a 3rd and 13.
And it's a big stop. So Carrier getting that sack puts Clemson behind the sticks. This is the longest 3rd down that Clemson has had so far in the game. The question is, and we know Moss has an arm, but can he convert?
Carrier's 3rd sack set up this 3rd and 13. They're going to go halfback screen to Cheetah Brown, but getting over there and making the tackle is Justin Boudreau, and he stands over Cheetah and's got some words for him. So it's going to bring up a 4th and 11, and now Moss going to try to come out here for a 51-yard field goal attempt. He's got the leg. The kick is up. No good. He pushed it wide right. No points on this drive for the Tigers.
It's a big stop, though, for Texas. So now your offense has an opportunity to come down and take the lead for the first time in this game. And you know, Mike Witt, we are seeing, you mentioned the chattering going on between them. This is really the start of a rivalry.
It kind of is, and Bamba's going to add to it as he takes off for a big run on the outside down to the Clemson 35. 80 yards rushing already for Bamba on just 6 carries. Got a big pancake block there. And I feel like we're going to have plays like this all game long.
We are. And what's funny is coming into this game, Go Bamba actually had 5 less rushing yards than DJ Moss. I think that Bamba has surpassed him so far.
Pistol formation, speed option, late pitch there. Bamba looking to fight for yards, pushing Jedediah back, and he'll pick up 5. And they get inside the 30, so it's been a chippy game. We've had some big plays. Neither one of these teams wants to lose this game. They're going to go read option. Tatum trying to get to the outside, but he's not going to be able to escape the waiting arms of Tommy Washington, the walk-on defensive tackle, and that's going to bring up a 3rd and 7.
And it's not a bad decision. Keeps it. It's really the right read for Tatum. He tries to get outside. It's just a heck of a play by Clemson. So now in a 3rd and long, Ray Tatum's going to have to sling it, and he's going to have to sling it past the sticks.
Jackson James, tight end, comes in motion. Tatum back to pass. Blitz coming, gets rid of it over the middle, but overshoots his receiver, and it falls incomplete. So a 4th and 7 kind of up for Texas. They're going to have to try for their 2nd field goal attempt. This is going to be Go Bamba trying to knock home a 48.5-yard field goal here. And that kick is up. It's got the leg, and it is good. He does what his counterpart DJ Moss could not. Knocks home the long field goal, and this is a 1-point game here late in the first quarter.
And I know it doesn't look like it on the scoreboard. I know it may not feel like it, but that is a victory for Texas. You go down, you put up points when Clemson couldn't. So now your defense is playing fairly well. You've been able to stand up. Your offense able to drive down the field. All they got to figure out is how to punch it in. And so now if Texas, if you can force a turnover, you're in pretty good shape.
Couple of field goals to 1 touchdown for Clemson. And we've got a very tight game here. We'll see if Texas's defense can get the stop or if Clemson gets back on a roll. Looks like they're going to start on a roll as Cheetah Brown rolls forward for 14 yards. Randy Charles and company in there to make the stop.
Yeah, Cheetah Brown. So he gets that inside zone, cuts it upfield, finding that lane. So right now, Texas defensively, they've done a pretty decent job. They started out getting gashed a little bit in the passing game, but have really bit down the running game. That's the longest run, really, one of them that Clemson's had. Option
here. Moss tries to take it himself, but he gets shut down by the super walk-on Franklin. After just a 1-yard pickup, it's going to bring up 2nd and 9. Recap the scoring for you. Clemson drove it down on their first drive and threw a touchdown pass to Cadillac Chadwick. And they haven't scored since then. Texas has got field goals from Go Bamba on both of their drives. That pass over the middle, and it is caught by Cheetah Brown. Smithers in on the tackle, and that's going to set up a 3rd and 6.
Oh, it's impressive by Cheetah Brown because he's not a big dude to be able to hold on to that because we all know Jimbo Smithers is the enforcer of this Texas defense.
Shotgun empty backfield here for Moss going to the right. Got a little bit of room, but not across the marker, but fighting his way forward is Chadwick. And he gets the first down, and Clemson will extend the drive.
Yeah, so right now, Clemson, the passing game seems to be working for the most part for this Clemson offense. We'll see what they do with likely their last play.
Read option here. Moss taking it up the middle. He's going to pick up about 7, call it 8. And that's how we'll get to the end of the first quarter. It's a tight one here in Jacksonville. You guys don't want to miss a play of this one. Start of the second quarter. They're giving it to Cheetah Brown, and he's got nowhere to go as that Texas defense comes up and stops him. Justin Boudreau, among others, in there to stop it, and they're just laying on top of him. He's having a tough time getting up. A little showmanship there from the Texas defense. It's going to be 3rd and 1 now from the Texas 32-yard line. Pistol formation, trips to the right. They go the read option and absolutely crushed by Jimbo Smithers as DJ Moss as he takes a loss. And another big stop from this Texas defense.
Well, you had to know the read option was coming, and Jimbo Smithers knew it and forced it. And boy, did Moss get his bell rung on that one.
Another 51-yard field goal attempt here from Moss. He's got the leg. Can he get it through? No, he misses that one. He's missed 2 in a row, and Clemson can't get any points on those drives. And now Texas is going to take over with an opportunity to take the lead.
Now, Mike, in fairness, I can't defend the first one. I can't probably defend that one. He got his bell rung, so he's seeing 3 field goal posts out there. He just tried to hit the middle one.
Well, it's the downside of having your quarterback be your kicker, as that run by Tatum is shut down as Schultz, the defensive tackle, brings him down. But it's a 7-yard pickup and a very manageable 2nd and 3 here for the Longhorns.
Yeah, it is. So what we're seeing from Texas is a little bit more read option than I think we're accustomed to seeing from them. I think you go Bamba here.
There you go, midline read again, but that one is shut down by Allen as he gets, or Jordan Hall, excuse me. And it's going to bring up a 3rd and 4 now for the Longhorns.
Well, Jordan Hall does a good job. He comes up filling that gap. So now Texas is 1 of 3 on 3rd downs. It's 3rd and 4. You could run it, but I think you got to pass it at this point.
Play fake there for Tatum. Going to check it down on the flat to the left. That's Jackson James. He's got the first across the 45. It's an 8-yard pickup. Kobe King in on the tackle. And Texas keeps this drive going.
Yeah, he does a really good job. That stiff arm allows him to get forward. But notice the difference. Ray Tatum is 3 of 4 for only 11 yards. When DJ Moss was 3 of 4, he was dang near 50 yards passing. So a lot of short throws right now for Texas compared to what Clemson started with.
Pistol formation for Tatum, goes over the middle, batted away by Kobe King. King's proven himself to be an effective defender in the pass game. He's got 3 interceptions, and that's now his 6th pass defense on the season. 2nd and 10 here for the Longhorns. They're going to give it to Bamba up the middle. Got a little bit of room to run, but then gets shut down. It's going to be a 7-yard pickup and another 3rd down upcoming for Texas.
Yeah, he does a nice job. Bamba closing in on 100 yards already, 8 carries, 92 yards. And so now 3rd and 3. I think you can go back to the running game. Attack that middle right now with Bamba.
They will, right up the middle, like you called it. He gets the first, hit hard by Kobe King, but it's a 6-yard pickup and another 1st down for the Texas team.
And that's big. You keep the drive moving, right? Just continue to focus on picking up 1st downs as an offense, and you will find yourself in the end zone.
Bamba gets it again, but nothing doing there. Gets stood up by, I believe it was Schultz, and then Benjamin Boulder, who we've nicknamed Bo Bueno, comes up with the tackle, 2nd and 10.
I think they just went to the well too many times. A lot of inside runs, so Clemson is able to adapt. I think you got to go outside here.
And they're going to go with the halfback screen to Bamba, and he's got lots of room to run. Kobe King gets over there to take him down inside the 15, but it's a 26-yard pass play, and the Longhorns just continue to extend this drive.
That's one way of going to the outside, right? Instead of a run to the outside traditionally, and again, it's still a short throw for Tatum, keeping it easy on him considering the fact that the last time he played Clemson, he threw 3 picks. Comes out, little screen over to the left-hand side for Bamba, and then Bamba takes up the sideline. Big play for Texas.
Tatum's worst game of the season, 3 picks, also fumbled the ball even though Texas recovered it. Bamba getting on the outside, picks up 3 there. We'll set up a 2nd and 7 just outside the 10 as Bamba's up over 100 yards now. Barry Allen in there with his 5th tackle. We got 5:10 to play here in the Gator Bowl as Texas and Clemson in a rematch of their game from a few weeks ago. That pass over the middle, Jeremy Conley with the catch, and it's a touchdown for Texas, and they go up 12-7 with 5:03 to go here in the 1st half.
That's an impressive throw by Ray Tatum, because there were like 5 purple jerseys in the vicinity, and Tatum finds a way to thread that one in there, get 6 on the board. So now Texas takes a 6-point lead. This is huge for Texas. You did not lead at all the last time you played Clemson. This is an interesting spot for Clemson. We'll see how they come out and respond.
And that kick's going to be nailed in the end zone by AR-15, so they will come out to the 25 and start this drive. They've missed 2 field goals on their last 2 drives. They've fallen behind now by 6. What can the Clemson offense do here? Dropping back to pass, going to go with the halfback screen, but getting through is Sudeikis, who's going to take him down, a 12-yard loss. As Sudeikis comes through with his 12th sack of the season, 1 behind the all-time record holder Alvin Mack, who had 13 this season.
Yeah, that's a single season record. So it's a great job by Sudeikis, because Moss trying to set up that screen, and Sudeikis just goes flying back there to pick it up. He's a sack away now.
Clemson's had a lot of problems on the halfback screen too, and they're going to almost get sacked. No, he does get down. Moss slips the first one and then goes down to Gary Anderson, the walk on the second straight sack for this Texas defense, and it's going to be a 3rd and 29 here for Clemson.
Well, Devontae Carrier gets through because Moss is trying to buy time, and Moss finds a way, bounces off Carrier to get to that outside edge, but the walk-on nails him. So 3rd and dang near 30, might as well be. It's a difficult spot for DJ Moss.
Moss going to drop back to pass, get pressure, going to take a shot to the left. He's got a receiver, but he underthrows it, and it's knocked away. As Chucky Lozano got in the way of it, it was just a bad throw for Moss as he underthrew it. And now Clemson's going to have to come on and punt for the first time tonight.
That's big. It's a great job by Lozano to rip that one out, bat it away. So now Texas is going to have great field position.
Great field position down to the 33-yard line, and Texas probably could have got a roughing the punter call on that punt, but they did not. 1st and 10 here from the 33. Texas up by 6, looking to add to it. Pistol formation, 2 tight ends. They bring Conley in motion. They're going to use him on a option play. And keeping it himself as Tatum gets taken down by Miller, and it's going to be a 3-yard pickup.
Yeah, he's not picking up a lot of yards, only averaging about 3 yards a carry, not much. But what it's doing is it's keeping the Clemson defense honest and having to account for him.
Bama taking that one up the middle, getting across the 20, and 11-yard pickup. And Hookham is enjoying what he's seeing out of his Texas team tonight.
Well, the Texas fans are too. And those are the kind of plays that Ray Tatum is helping to set up with him running the ball as much as he is.
Bama taking it on the outside, spinning off the first tackle, pushing his way forward. Jordan Hall slowed him down, and Barry Allen got over there to make the stop after a 6-yard pickup. But Bama just having a tremendous game so far here in the first half. Back to the pistol formation goes Texas. 2 tight ends again, twins left. They're going to give it to Bama, trying to go up the middle, gets tripped up and taken down by Hall. No gain on that one. Actually, that was Benjamin Boulder, and it's going to be 3rd and 4.
For the most part, Bamba is just having his way with this Clemson defense, but a good job by Boy Bueno to get through. So now 3rd and 4, got to throw.
Read option, actually. Tatum's going to keep it himself, gets just enough for the first as Allen makes his 7th tackle. And it's now going to be 1st and goal from the 7 as Texas looking to make this a 2-score game. Pistol formation again, 2 tight ends to the left. Receiver coming in motion. Tatum gets taken down. They ran it one too many times. Jedediah gets in there for the tackle for loss, and now it's going to be 2nd and goal.
Now you go to that triple option, and it managed to pick up that first down, but Clemson recognizes as soon as you bring the receiver into the backfield, they know it's coming. They do a great job sniffing it out. Great play by Jedediah.
One more time in the pistol. What are they going to do? They got 3 wide receivers out there this time. They're going to go read option again. Tatum taking it up the middle, taken down at the 1-yard line. Jedediah saves it from the touchdown, but it's going to be 3rd and goal from the 1.
Well, the Clemson defense is starting to focus on Bamba. It's giving Tatum a lot of running room now. This part of the field, though, you go to your big bruiser of a back in Bamba.
He will get it right up the middle into the end zone untouched. Great blocking by the Texas offensive line. And with 2:11 to go in the first half, Texas has a 19-7 lead.
Yeah, it's big. So you give it to Bamba right inside, and he powers his way right in there. So now Texas goes up now by 13 after Clemson on their first drive went down the field, scored 7. A couple missed field goals later, and Clemson has not scored a point at all this second quarter.
That's an excellent point, David. Clemson looked like a well-oiled machine ready to pounce on their prey on the first drive of the game, and they haven't been able to do much since. AR-15 hurdling defenders trying to do his part. He picks up 37 on the return, and we'll see if that's enough to spark this Clemson offense.
Well, it's going to give them pretty good field position. Now, what we haven't seen a lot of, in all honesty, is DJ Moss running the ball. A lot of short throws. I think you got to go back to attacking.
Handoff up the middle. Cheetah Brown's going to pick up 9. Nice way to start this drive. They'll take a timeout with 2:01 to play. I think that one was very early. And now they're going to come out in a shotgun 3 wide. Read option. Moss going to keep it himself. Gets pressured. He'll pick up the first, but Randy Charles comes up to make the tackle. And it's going to be 1st and 10.
And it's a good job. Gets that outside edge. But again, what we haven't seen a lot of, remember that first drive? Passing plays, attacking intermediate of the defense and really moving pretty quickly downfield. Haven't seen a lot of that. They've taken their foot off the gas since that first drive.
Texas shifting their defense, and they get through again. Another screenplay blown up by the Texas defense. And Clemson just needs to stick that play in the back of the playbook and not try it again tonight.
I would agree with that sentiment. So now it's 2nd and 10. A quick throw over the middle would be my best bet.
Well, they're going to go with the screen pass again. Why not? Hasn't worked the first 4 times. This time it does, though. Cheetah Brown, a 12-yard pickup, and a Clemson first down.
Well, instead of attacking the middle, because the defense bailed out of that middle, they go to that screen pass to the outside, unprotected. Cheetah Brown goes up that left sideline, picks up the first down.
Moss passes it to the left and almost picked off. Randy Charles gets his hands on it, but can't bring it home. And the Clemson faithful breathe a collective sigh of relief on that one. Pistol formation trips to the right now for Clemson. 1:35 to go here in the second quarter. Moss is going to run into the line, tries to scramble, goes down. Carrier gets him again. His second sack of the night, and it's going to be 3rd and 14.
It's a big play by Carrier. So once again, Clemson's in a 3rd and long situation. And for the most part, they've been very conservative. Somebody's saying that Clemson is a second-half team. You know something? The last time Clemson played Texas, they were anything but a second-half team.
Pistol formation here. Gonna throw to the left. That one is caught by Cheetah Brown. He gets crunched by Franklin, the walk-on. And they're only get halfway to the first down marker. And now it's going to be the 38-yard line, 4th and 7. They've missed a couple of field goals already. They're going to say, Moss, see what you can do with your arm this time. They're going to go for it here late in the first half. A minute to play, and Moss probably going to let this tick down as far as he can. 17 seconds on the play clock. Moss in the empty backfield with 5 wide. Trying to pick up the 4th and 7, wanting to cut into this 13-point Texas lead. 6 seconds on the play clock now. Moss taking his time. Here comes the Texas defense. No, they're playing it safe, and he completes it to the left, and it's going to be a first down to Robertson. And with 31 seconds to go, Clemson uses their second timeout. And now do they try to push the ball downfield and take a shot at the end zone? There it is, going to the right, wide open, Anthony Robertson. Clemson scores their second touchdown of the first half and closes this lead to 7 points.
And look at how they did it. It's a passing game, right? Left side of the field, Robertson sits. It's a curl route, but he sits just in front of that first down marker. Moss connects, Robertson turns upfield, he gets it. Then you come out here, that next play, following the 4th down conversion, Moss loads one up, fires it into the back of the end zone to Robertson, who burns that secondary, gets behind him. That's a big touchdown for Clemson. You've closed the gap to 6 and have left Texas only about 20 seconds to respond.
23 seconds after that return by Bamba. Appreciate you guys helping out Titanic Gamer with his questions. A lot of that can be found in the FAQ and welcome channel on Discord, but you can obviously ask questions to get a little bit more familiar with everything. There are definitely ways you can upgrade your player for free. We will unveil that later on in the offseason. That pass out to the outside. Hunter Lewis makes the grab down to the 40 of Clemson, and Texas will use their first timeout. 18 seconds to play as Barry Allen makes his 8th tackle. Tatum, he's going to take a shot to the right. Got a receiver. And Stedman somehow drags his toes, picks up 22, and gets a Texas first down.
Impressive job. Corner route. And Stedman had a big game the last time he played Clemson. Had 10 catches, over 100 yards receiving, and a touchdown. I'll be honest, I don't think he got that foot in, and they're not going to take a second look at it.
I agree with you. I did not think that he got it in either. Maybe a break there for the Longhorns. Tatum back to pass, going to the right off of the hands of his tight end. Jackson James, incomplete. It's going to be 11 seconds on the clock now. 2nd and 10 from the Clemson 18-yard line. Texas trying to get their 2-score lead back. Can they do it? 11 seconds to play. Tatum going to check it down underneath. And that one is caught. Bamba, 5-yard pickup. They'll take their second timeout with 6 seconds to play, and Texas not going to mess around. They're going to bring on Bamba here for a 30-yard field goal attempt to try to make this a 9-point game. That kick is up. And it is good. Texas with the lead, 23-14 with 3 seconds to go here in the first half.
Yeah, so now it's a 9-point game, 2-score lead now for Texas, and a big return from Clemson could close that.
Well, Texas is going to shut that one down. Barry Allen not able to find any room to run out there. 23-14, Texas with the lead. They are doing everything you could hope if you're a Texas fan to avenge that 32-point loss to Clemson a few weeks ago. As we head into the studio for the halftime show, Davis, tell us what you saw.
Well, the biggest thing is Clemson comes out first drive straight down the field, put 7 on the board. 2 missed field goals, and the next time that Clemson scores a point is not until the final minute of the second quarter. In between that length of time, Texas is able to drive down the field. They get a couple field goals. They find a way into the end zone. They find a way to respond. They get their points. And so far, Texas has done a great job of responding. They gave up those first points. They gave up those points late, but they put together a great late drive in the closing seconds to get a field goal out of it, and have really done an impressive job not only responding to the last time they faced Clemson, but so far in this game as well.
It's been a tremendous effort from Texas, who leads on the total yardage. Clemson's got a small edge in passing, but the run game for Texas has been the difference, and it's been mostly all Go Bamba. He has kind of put this offense on his back, and he has extended drives and made very short third downs for them. They're also helping to control the time of possession. It is only a 9-point lead, and Clemson has come back from 21 points down in the second half before. So definitely not something that they can't overcome, but right now, Texas is definitely looking like the better team tonight, and we'll have to see what changes that Clemson will make in the locker room at the half. They are going to kick it off to Texas to start the second half, so Texas got an opportunity to add even more to this 9-point lead, as that kick's taken at the goal line, taken down the right hash by Smithers, and he gets out across the 30, and that's where Texas will start this drive.
Yeah, so this is big. You look at their last 5 drives for Texas, they've scored on all of them. 3 field goals, 2 touchdowns. That's what we're looking at with Texas. And the big thing for their offense is it's been Go Bamba, but the passing game has come on. Ray Tatum's getting involved in the running game as well. All-around effort by this offense.
Handoff to Bamba, bounces off the tackle, spins his way forward. He picks up 4 out of what could have been a loss of 4.
That's big. And you mentioned the plays for a loss. Texas has not absorbed a lot of those, and it's really difficult because Go Bamba doesn't get dropped in the backfield very often, and when he does, he usually manages to fall forward for at least a yard or 2.
Tatum back to pass, going over the middle, not able to haul that one in, was the wide receiver Conley. So it's going to bring up a 3rd and 6 now. Texas 5 for 7 on third downs tonight. They came into the game 46% on the season, which was tied for 9th. Pistol formation 2-by-2 set as they split the tight end out. He comes back in, and now they're going to throw that way, and making the catch is Hunter Lewis, who gets his toes down. They might want to review that one too, David.
I think they should. They're not going to. We're not even going to get a second look at to say whether or not we think they should review it. He floats that one out there. That's a tough catch to make, even if you're not trying to get your toes in.
And they're going to hand it off to Bamba. Goes up the middle. He gets hit hard by Kobe King at the 50. That's the first really big hit we've seen tonight, but Kobe King making his presence felt there.
Well, it's the first one we've seen on Bamba. Remember, Moss got his bell rung earlier by Smithers. But Bamba didn't even see Kobe King waiting. He comes through the hole. All of a sudden, there's Kobe King with a shoulder in his face.
Jackson James comes in motion. Tatum's going to give it to Bamba again, and he's finding some room out there trying to run away from Barry Allen. Don't think that's going to work for him, but it's a 22-yard pickup, and Texas does not look to have missed the beat after the halftime break.
No, Go Bamba hasn't either. He does a great job. Reads his blocks. Reads it, flows to the left, cuts back inside of his next blocker, then tries to get outside of Allen. Allen does a great job picking up his 9th tackle, though, to keep Bamba from getting into the end zone.
Tatum's going to pass here. 4-man rush coming, throwing to the right, and finding a receiver on the sideline. Ricky Stedman with a 14-yard pickup, and Texas moves the chains again.
Well, Stedman kind of got, sandwiched there. 2 defenders really crunched him from either side. Lucky to hold on to that, because those are the plays that more often than not, a ball comes loose on that. Stedman does a great job, though. Picks up the first down, now inside the 15, and now it's Bamba and Tatum time to run.
Handoff up the middle. Bamba gets to the 10, taken down after a 4-yard pickup. David, have you seen anybody for Clemson chat in the last quarter and a half?
I haven't seen anybody chat, I don't think, since that first quarter when Clemson went down and scored the missed field goals, and all of a sudden Clemson's gone dead.
Here's Bamba up the middle, rolling his way into the end zone. King with the tackle, but he rolled forward into the end zone for the touchdown, and Texas goes up 29-14.
He does a great job. He just fights his way forward. This is what Bamba does. He rolls forward, falls forward. Here, falls into the end zone. So now Texas is up by 16. It's 30-14. And I think Texas is saying, we want a little revenge. We want to hold Clemson to under 20 like they did to us.
Well, this is Texas's national championship game. Oh, my goodness. Jimbo Smithers just depleted Barry Allen. And Allen pops up, but then starts wobbling a little bit. Holy goodness. 1st and 10 from the 20 for Clemson. Pump fake for Moss. Going to take a shot to the left into traffic and bat it away. What a play on the outside by Chucky Lozano.
Oh, wow. What a play by Lozano. But, man, I tell you what, as God is my witness, Barry Allen got crushed in half.
Oh, hopefully he's okay. Clemson's going to need him. That pitch on the outside on the read option. And Cadillac Chadwick runs over Randy Charles, then taken down by Frank. Actually, that was Mason Johnson who picks up a big play there. How did he run over Charles? Franklin gets him from behind, but a big gain there and a first down for the Tigers.
It's big, right? Because here's the thing. Mason Johnson's a little dude. Randy Charles is not a little dude. And somehow, Mason Johnson just powered right through Randy Charles.
Cheetah Brown gets slowed down by Franklin, then taken down by Charles, but it's going to be a 3-yard pickup. He's got 33 yards now on 6 carries as Charles gets his 5th tackle. 5:20 to play here in the 3rd quarter. Texas up 30-14. They're packing the box. Looks like they're bringing a blitz. They do. They're going read option. Moss slips through it, but can't get the first down. He'll pick up 4, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and 3. Reminder that coming up next, it's the Orange Bowl for the national championship. Tennessee against Oregon for all the marbles, or oranges as it may be. You guys want to stay tuned for that one as well. Read option here from Moss. He takes it across the 45, and that's going to be a first down for Clemson.
Well, he starts that right side, then he cuts back inside of the receiver's block to pick up that first down. Does a really nice job there. So what Clemson's doing, they're picking up yardage, and they've gone back to their roots, right? Read option, run the football, inside zones, and everything in between.
Moss going to throw to the right, finding Cortez, the tight end. He'll pick up 7. I believe that's his first catch. It is. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 3. He's been a big part of this offense as their tight end, as he had 61 catches, which led the team. So getting him involved will definitely help this Clemson offense. Cortez comes in motion here. They're going to give it to Cheetah Brown. He gets met in the hole by Franklin. No gain there, and that's going to bring up a 3rd and 3.
It is, but now here's the difference. Notice in the 2nd quarter what Clemson's 3rd downs more often than not were. 10, 7 yards plus, right? Long 3rd downs. Now it's really short again.
3rd and 3, Cheetah Brown up the middle, going to get the first across the 30. Charles in on the tackle. And Clemson doing their part to keep this going, extending the drive. And they've got a 1st and 10 at 29. They'll come out in the shotgun here, 2-by-2 set. Brown off to his left. They're going to go read option, trying to get to the outside. And Smithers comes up and lays the hammer to Moss again, and that's going to be a loss of 1.
Oh, it's his 7th tackle. 2 tackles for a loss. And you know what? Jimbo Smithers loved that big hit so much. He did the splits in celebration for it.
I thought he might have thrown out his pelvic joint or something after that one. 2nd and 11 here for Moss. And you got to wonder if these hits are starting to take a toll. Going to go with the halfback screen. They finally get that one off. And Brown's going to get to the outside. Will pick up 5. Franklin in on the tackle. 3rd and 7 upcoming.
Yeah, but this is right where Texas as a defense wants Clemson to be in. 3rd and long, right? 3rd and 7. This is where Clemson has been struggling for a better part of the game.
Moss back to pass here. Oh, and he throws a pick right into the waiting arms of the defense. They set in a spy, and Gary Anderson, who came up with a big tackle earlier, picks off Moss sitting in coverage.
He came up with a big sack that made it 3rd and 29, And then DJ Moss doesn't even see him there, trying to go to his check down, and the big man reaches up, snags it. Texas has field position, momentum, and the ball right back.
Read option here for Tatum, tries to get to the outside, then cuts back inside. He's going to fall forward. He'll pick up 11, and Texas just continuing to churn out yards here on the ground.
Oh, and before I forget, here's the other thing that Texas has. An offense that Clemson is struggling to shut down right now.
They've had no answer for it. Go Bamba up the middle, across the 50, down to the 47. An 8-yard pickup as Bamba gets up to 171 on the ground.
He's looking to hit 200, and more than likely he will, because the longer this game goes, the more it's going to be chew up the clock, and they're going to stick to this ground game with Bamba.
Hand off to Bamba, he's missing some tackles, and he shrugs off Allen, gets inside the 30. A 20-yard gain as he's up 9 yards away from 200, and we still got 2.5 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Okay, so he is pushing for 250. If he gets another couple big runs, he'll likely hit that. I doubt he hits the record, but if this keeps up, he just might.
Read option, Tatum keeps it himself, but played well by the Clemson defense. Kobe King in there to get the stop to be 2nd and 8. The record's 369 yards. And interestingly enough is Bamba's 357 yards away from 2,000 on the season. So if he did set the record, he would also set the record for rushing yards in a season. I don't think that's going to happen. That pass to the left and almost picked off Jackson Slade in on the coverage, and that's going to bring up a 3rd and 8.
So right now, Texas has found themselves in a 3rd and long spot, but we've seen Ray Tatum pick it up before. He's going to attack. It's going to be a pass over to this trip side.
Going to go with the screenplay actually to the other side. They give it to Bamba. He's only going to pick up 5 though. So that'll bring up a 4th and 3. And Texas content here to add on to their 16-point lead. Going to try a 38-yard field goal attempt from Bamba. And that kick is up, and that is no good. He misses his first one of the game. He was 3 for 3 before that kick, but now Texas misses a field goal, and is that an opening for this Clemson Tiger team?
Well, Bamba had nailed it from 40-plus yards earlier. Here, he can't nail it from even shorter than that. A big missed opportunity by Texas and an opening potentially for Clemson.
Well, they need to do something with it here. They're only going to get 4 on the first down run by Cheetah Brown as Anderson makes the tackle. 2nd and 6 now. Clemson, as you've talked about, scored on their opening drive and their final drive of the first half, and that is it. Haven't been able to do anything else. They've missed a couple of field goals. Screen pass out there to kind of like Chadwick, and he gets wrestled down by Charles. It's going to be a gain of only 2, and that's going to set up a 3rd and 4.
It is, but the good news is for Clemson, it's 3rd and 4 now, so you can do a lot of different things here to pick up this first down.
And that one gets stuffed as Devontae Carrier comes through and blows that one up. His 3rd tackle for a loss to bring up a 4th and 4, and Clemson's going to have to punt it away.
For the record, running the ball directly at Devontae Carrier will not pick up the first down, in case that was ever in doubt, just for the record.
Carrier having his biggest game of the season and the biggest game of the season. And now Bamba's going to field this punt, but gets taken down quickly. Excellent work by the Clemson special teams. And now after that missed field goal, the defense hasn't missed a beat. Is the Texas offense going to get right back on track?
Well, they're going to have to. But, Mike, that was a first drive in 7 drives, really, for Texas that they didn't score or come away with points.
We'll see if they can do something here. Pass on the outside. Conley slips a tackle. Kobe King catches up to him and brings him down across midfield. And that's a big pickup and a first down for the Longhorns.
Texas is just winning on first down consistently. It's always, especially to start the drive, it's always a big play of some sort, whether it's a big run by Go Bamba or a big pass play by Ray Tatum to pick up a first down. These drives for Texas are all starting to look the same. Big play to open up, and usually they come away with points.
Hand off there to Bamba, and he picks up 2. So the Clemson defense comes up with a stop. He's now 7 yards away from 200. Ball at the 49 of Clemson. Texas up by 16 here as we get close to the end of the third quarter. Pistol formation, trips to the right. They're going to go with a halfback screen. Bamba gets it. He's got blocking downfield. Barry Allen chasing him. Can he catch him? Slips off the tackle. Can he get into the end zone? No, he's taken down at the 9-yard line. But a huge play on the screen pass to Bamba, and it's 1st and goal for Texas.
Because Bamba's dominance running the ball decidedly was not enough. They want to continue to let him dominate in the passing game. The screenplay, again, he had one like this earlier. This one goes longer, and Bamba just down the field, gets away from Barry Allen, shakes off Jordan Hall. It's not until Hall manages to spin him around that Nicholas Jedediah is able to close ground and make the stop.
That's going to bring us to the end of the 3rd quarter. Texas up by 16 and looking to add to it. Will Texas return the thumping Clemson gave them in week 9? We'll find out in just a moment. Start of the 4th quarter, Bamba gets the carry, paddled up in the middle, cuts outside into the end zone, touchdown Longhorns. And they're now up 36-14 as we start the 4th quarter.
Wow. Just wow. What an effort by Bamba. And we've seen it, and it's almost become routine for Bamba, right? Gets bottled up. He finds a way to make something out of nothing. And in this case, the something comes with 6 points attached to it. And Texas extending their lead. And now, you know, all they have to do as a defense is hold on just a little bit longer, and they will do to Clemson what Clemson did to them just a few weeks ago.
37-14. Who would have saw this coming after that 51-19 win by Clemson in Texas? Robertson takes that return, and there's a flag. Looks like that one is going to tack 15 yards onto it. Now the question becomes, David, Texas came in and not only looks like they're going to beat Clemson, but beat Clemson handily. And since they had the big win over Oregon, is this opening up a sliver of a hope for them to have some kind of claim at a national title?
It's possible. Now, it's going to depend on what the voters see out of the next game in the Orange Bowl.
Gina Brown up the middle, 17. It's, I don't know, like I said earlier in this game, Texas had a shot to rematch with Clemson, and that's an opportunity that Oregon, who lost big to Texas early in the year, isn't going to get. Oregon also beat Clemson when they were the #1 team, and if they beat Tennessee, they're going to have the 2 biggest wins of the season, I would say, on their record at the end of the season, where it counts the most as that pass falls incomplete, 2nd and 10. What do you think, David?
Yeah, I would say that's the case. And even if we go the other way, because we all know that Oregon is heavily favored, but even if Tennessee wins, Tennessee's got the head-to-head over both Texas and Clemson. It'd be hard for them to not be voted #1 either.
Well, I agree. If Tennessee wins, I don't think either one of these teams have a claim since Tennessee beat them. But if Oregon were to win, especially in a close one, you know, is there a way that some voter could say, hey, Texas maybe deserves this? I'm with you. I don't think so. I mean, I've said since Monday on the podcast that whoever wins the Orange Bowl is who I'm voting for. We'll find out. It's going to make things very interesting. What a big hit there from Justin Boudreau as he shuts Cheetah Brown down on the draw play. And it's going to be 4th and 13, and Clemson just cannot figure out anything offensively.
Yeah, and they have struggled with that. Really, the Texas defense done a great job shutting down this Clemson offense, and it's been that way for a better part of the game. And, you know, for Oregon, you talk about the close win, but what's the nature of a close win? What if it goes to 3 or 4 overtime periods or 2 overtime periods like it did the last time they played Tennessee to figure that out? You know, does that still give Texas that opening? And you and I are in agreement on this. Whoever wins the Orange Bowl should be the national champion, and that should be, I think, pretty clear cut at that point.
We'll see how it all plays out. It's been an incredible game, though, by Texas. And, you know, if you say you got a sliver of a hope, but you got to come out and play impressively, they've done everything they could. Whether it's enough, I don't think so, but you can't fault them. They got revenge over what's becoming their possibly biggest rival in this league. And you got to tip your cap for that as Go Bamba takes off. He's got blockers, get to the outside, and he steps out of bounds short of the 20, but another 29-yard run, and he's up to 230 now on the ground.
And we've still got like 6.5 minutes to play. I mean, it's just the biggest stage, putting up big numbers.
Thought we lost you there for a second. Pistol formation, 2 tight ends. Bomb again, and he runs into a wall of defenders, taking down a 2-yard pickup there. It's going to be 2nd and 8. We got under 6.5 to go in this one. Reminder, the Orange Bowl's next. Tennessee and Oregon. We think it's the national championship. Texas might think differently. Bamba gets the carry there. Kobe King still playing hard. Takes them down after a 1-yard pickup. And it's going to be 3rd and 6.
Well, Kobe King does a nice job. He makes that stop. So 3rd and 6. Down to about 6 minutes. Run the ball again.
If it's working, don't stop doing it. And Texas has it all night long. Pistol formation here for Tatum. Makes an adjustment, brings his tight end in motion. He'll drop back to pass. Moving around in the pocket, going back to the left, jumping up, tapping his toes. Hunter Lewis with a touchdown, and Texas extends the lead to 43-14.
You know it's a rivalry game now, Mike, because Clemson goes into Texas, right? And they really just put all the heat and pour the gas on 51-19. Texas comes out and they say, you know what, we know it's 4th quarter and we know we've got the lead and we're beating it handily. We want to run up the score and we want to do to you guys what you did to us. This is a rivalry game going forward. No question.
No question about it. I mean, it's been a rivalry with all the talk anyway. And, you know, I always say you got to beat the other team before it can be a rivalry. Where they're beating them, and they're beating them handily. Clemson talked a lot after that win a few weeks ago when they won 51-19. Texas is going to be chirping a lot. You can guarantee it after this win. 1st and 10 here. Moss takes a low snap. Going to throw it out to the left. Making a catch as Mason Johnson runs over Smithers and then picks up the 1st down. So a nice play there as Clemson finds it. There just haven't been enough of them tonight, David.
No, they really haven't. They haven't. And it's a lot like what Texas went through the last time they played, right? Not enough of the big plays and not enough offense to be able to keep things close.
Handoff there. Cheetah Brown gets taken down by Anderson, who's fighting for a scholarship apparently. He's got his 2nd tackle for loss. A little bit of talk and chat about Clemson talking about this game or whatever. The one thing I will say that they said today that they didn't change their settings. They said, come out, we're going to do the same thing we did to you the week before, or 3 weeks ago. It's on you, can you beat us? And Texas has answered that call. Cheetah Brown breaks away there, though, and he's got a big run down inside the 15. Do you think it was a mistake, David, not to change up their game plan?
I think it was. I think you should adapt. Because, and I get it, it worked so well the last time, but there were a lot of different things that happened in that game. You have to know that Texas was going to come out with a different offense. Remember in that game, Ray Tatum threw 3 picks and fumbled the ball. I know Clemson didn't get it, but those are, 4 big mistakes for Texas that haven't been happening in this game.
Pistol formation here, moving around in the pocket, thrown over the middle, almost picked off. Boudreaux gets his hands on that one. Skyballer says that he showed the blueprint for how to shut down Clemson. They did. They did shut down Clemson. They have a different team maybe. I don't know if that was necessarily a blueprint. They have a lot of talent. There's a pass to the left. And as we talk about talent, Mason Johnson gets a touchdown to cut into this lead. And they're at least scoring more than Texas did and trying to make this not a 32-point blowout.
Well, Texas is going to feel a little bit bad about that, that they were unable to hold on to keeping Clemson under 20. But, I mean, it's coming to a point. It's practically too little too late at this point. I mean, now you could say, well, they're down 23, under 5 minutes. I mean, it's too little too late.
Yeah, I don't think there's any chance at them coming back. They are going to go with an onside kick here with 4:47 to play. And that one's going to bounce, fielded by Texas. And now you got to wonder, being a rivalry game that it is, does Texas try to score and match the 51 that Clemson put up on them?
Oh, I would. And here's what makes this game great, though, going forward. Because it's a rivalry game, likely it'll get scheduled to Week 11. These two teams were in national championship contention. If that's the Week 11 game, wow.
Run up the middle. I don't know about that. I still think Texas and A&M are going to be the Week 11 game going forward. We could change that I kind of like this as an earlier season game, get the chirping going, and then get the rematch possibly in a bowl game. I don't know. We'll see how it all plays out. Bamba up the middle, and he's hit and taken down after a 3-yard gain by Kobe King, and it's going to bring up 3rd and inches.
Like I said, just possibility. Anything is possible in this league. And certainly Texas putting Clemson through the works is a possibility, and it's happening right now.
Hand off there to Bamba, and he gets tripped up and taken down, but he gets the first as Mike Miller makes the tackle. His 3rd. It's going to be 1st and 10 now. Bamba 30 carries rather, for 243 yards. Maybe, possibly, his best performance of the season. 1st and 10 here, under 40 minutes to play. Pistol formation. They're going to bring the receiver motion, but they use him as a decoy. Bamba slips the tackle out to the outside inside the 20 and taken down from behind by Washington at the 10, but it's another 22 yards for Go Bamba.
And that puts him over 250. He's at 265 right now, under 4 minutes to play. I mean, oh, Lord have mercy. I mean, just Texas is not done. They're 11 yards away. You might as well punch it in at this point and put up 51.
Pistol formation, 2 wide. Going to hand it off to Bamba, trying to get to the outside. And he is hit and taken down. Barry Allen and Kobe King there. It's going to be a 2-yard gain. As Bamba looking for his 4th rushing touchdown of the game, yes. 2nd and 8 from the 9. Pistol, 3 wide. And Jackson James going to come in motion as Tatum makes an adjustment. They give it up the middle. Bamba fighting forward, shakes the tackle into the end zone. That's his 4th. And if he can get the PAT, Texas will match the 51 that Clemson put on them 3 weeks ago.
He just powers ahead. I mean, this is just, Mike, we haven't really seen anything like this, dominance-wise, from a running back. We know that Rondé Jr. is a dominant back. We know Avery Jordan is a dominant back. But in terms of a game like this, against an opponent like this, because remember, coming into this week, Clemson was ranked number 2 in the nation. I mean, this is unheard of.
It is, and they had the number 1 defense, too, as Robertson takes that 31 yards. Clemson allowed only 25.8 points per game, which is 1st. They were 2nd in yardage per game, 1st in rush yards per game, allowing less than 100 yards per game. And Go Bamba and this Texas team did not care about that one bit, as they have just run all over this Clemson defense. 30-point game here, 3:09 to play, and Clemson just going to try to move this down the field and see if they can cut into this lead. Triple option, Moss going to keep it himself, and he gets stopped. Oh, I thought that was a yard short, but they're going to say he got a 1st down.
You thought it was a yard short. I thought because of the commotion on the field that the ball had been jarred loose and somebody was scrambling for it.
Pistol formation, 3 wide. Moss back to pass, going over the middle. Cheetah Brown makes the catch, fighting for it, and gets stopped a yard short. They call him down a yard short. Husker says in chat about a CFSL and a real-life rivalry week. I don't know if that's possible yet, because I don't know if we have enough rivalries, other than Clemson and Texas, that, Jimbo Smithers, another big hit on DJ Moss as he gets his 10th tackle, and he's up over 100 tackles on the season. That's his 101st tackle. But outside of Texas and Clemson, I don't know if we have any other traditional or non-traditional rivalries yet, but that is definitely something that could evolve as we move. They're passing into the flat. Cortez, they're finally getting him his 2nd catch as he picks up 9. I think he's been extremely underutilized tonight.
He hasn't seen a lot of work, and Mike, you and I will do the scheduling later on this offseason, so we can cover that ground later. But it's always interesting to think about the schedule, isn't it?
It's one of my favorite things to do, is that is stuffed out. That read option there. Boudreaux gets back there for a 7th tackle, 4th tackle for a loss. Big game for Boudreaux, the transfer from Oregon last season. His team playing in the national title. You wonder, did he make the right choice going to Texas? But he's having a fantastic season. 2-man rush here, and Moss got all kinds of time. Now he's getting pressured, and he goes down. Devontae Carrier again comes up with his 3rd sack in his final game with Texas, and it's 3rd and 17 for Clemson.
What's crazy about it is, you said it was basically a 2-man rush, because he got Sudeikis playing Catane as a spy over to the left-hand side of the defense, and then Carrier just blows it all up anyway.
Pass to the right. That one is batted down by Morrow. He's only got one tackle, but he comes up with a nice deflection there. Superwoman says that the schedule always plays out perfect. I appreciate that. We try, but a lot of things got to fall right, and we've just been lucky that we've got a lot of great games at just the right time, it seems. Clemson punts it away, and Bamba takes it back 12 yards, 1:22 to play. And you got to expect Texas is going to kneel it out, and Clemson's going to let them, but you never really know in games like this.
No, you don't. And, I mean, if you're Texas, I think you're going to run the ball at least once, maybe twice.
They give it right up the middle. Bamba stiff arms his way down to a 9-yard carry. Miller gets the tackle. He's got 286. Why not give it to him once more and see if you can get only the second 300-yard rushing performance in CFSL history?
I think they will. Go right up the middle.
40 seconds on the clock. There it is. Give it to Bamba up the middle, fighting his way 40, picks up 7. He's 5 yards short, or 7 yards short, rather, and I think that's going to do it. They can run out the clock, and Texas not going to take a knee. It looks like they're going to give it to him one more time. Why not? There's the snap. Bamba gets the carry, runs into the D-end, slips off of a Kobe King, says, sit down. You are not getting 300 yards on my watch. And what a way to end the Gator Bowl here in Jacksonville as Texas avenges the 51-19 loss 3 weeks ago with a 30-point win of their own.
Yeah, it's huge. And kudos to Texas because they come out and they ran the ball and just pounded away at the Clemson defense. And Clemson came out here looking like they had no idea this is what Texas was going to do. You should have known better when you got Go Bamba back there, who got the ball 36 times and ran for 295 yards with 4 touchdowns.
He got 36 carries. That ties the CFSL record. So he tied
huge.
the record, Mike Kovach's record of 36 carries. So tremendous game. Texas with the win, 41-21. We're going to take a quick flight to Miami, and we'll be there for the Orange Bowl for Tennessee and Oregon playing for the national title. For David, I'm Mike. We'll see you then.